God damn it.
That's what I was saying. I was kind of impressed with the creativity.
All right. Here is the mission. So Team Mamba's convoy was driving from the south to north. You can look at my crudely drawn green lines. Patches, please mute your mic. Thank you. And you can see that they... Patches, I swear to God. Please,
Hello?
mute your mic. Please.
Never.
Okay. Let me just start from the beginning. So, there are 3 teams in play here. The first is Team Mamba. They're the ones with the VIP. They were driving through this area. Their route is roughly marked on the map. They came from over here. They were then driving all the way up to here. And then they had a call-in point after they moved through the little position of Bromley. From there, they did not make their next call-in point over to the north, which means they are some position between the last call-in position and there. So anywhere along that stretch of MSR, they are present. Now, that means they need to be rescued. So the chopper has already been called in. As soon as I hit the continue button here and we all get pushed in, that 2-hour countdown starts. That chopper will be landing at LZ Nutter, which is an open area, to pick everyone involved up for the player base. We have, from the position of, what is this, Patrol Base Hondo, spotted a lot of armed civilian activity along the region. Those positions are marked on the map. I would highly recommend you avoid those unless you are looking for a fight. But VIP's job is to basically make their way back to the outpost, and then the other 2 teams, Zulu and Gamma, are to try to find the VIPs to back the VIP team to back them up, and then move back to the outpost, and then hold out until the chopper can get here. Are there any questions? What? Make it quick, please.
Yes, no. I have a question.
Go ahead. Thank you.
Number 1, sorry, didn't realize I didn't mute the mic before I left. Number 2, so you don't want us to pre-coordinate, so we can't talk to them before we start. You want us to naturally find them in the field. Correct. Okay. So don't write radios on the map. Don't do any sort of precognition. Just try to find them naturally. Got it.
Because the simulation here is the outpost is just being told that this has happened, so they have to go find it in the field. I've made it a little obvious where they are. It's up to you to actually see it and go on.
Question.
So, sorry, go ahead, Canadian.
Go with the question.
Thanks. Do we know if there are like enemy patrols, or is that not for us to know?
Unknown. All we know is there's been some armed civilians in the area. They could be extending around the AOs, but beyond that, we don't know. Now, thinking about it logically, if they hit the convoy, that means they want whatever's in the convoy, so they'll probably naturally start moving from these hubs to wherever this area might be. So, you know, this, that. So keep that in mind, that, you know, they'll probably be doing that.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Are we allowed to, for like, in group comms, put stuff on the map so that like other teams
in group
can't
chat,
see it?
so your team can see it? Yeah, I'll allow that.
Cool.
So are they looking for just the VIP, or is there another thing they may be looking for?
I don't know. They just ambushed the VIP convoy.
So
so we're not no, we are escorting the VIP, sorry.
Yes.
Liru, the second thing I had, is there an ROE, or is it just focus on the VIP?
ROE is to get the VIP to the outpost and get them extracted. Whatever you need to do to get that done, you do, because that's what you're being paid for, and you don't really care about anything else at the moment.
Okay. One last big thing. I know you don't want to give out specific details, but do we know, I've read it a little bit in the documents and the brief, but I just wanted to reiterate in case anybody didn't read that. Do we know if they're using technicals or any vehicles, or if it's just general militia?
You've spotted infantry and some technicals. Nothing bigger. No BRDMs, BTRs, BMPs. It's just been angry civilians with guns and some little technicals.
Okay, that's all I got.
All right. Any other questions from the peanut gallery? All right. Good luck. Have fun. Mission is a go.
I would be joining in a tad late, purely because I thought I downloaded the mods. No, the mods stopped.
Brilliant. Oh, of course, it's gonna glitch out my Zeus client there. So I gotta respawn. That's why you have a debug respawn in case
Take
that
scrap!
breaks.
Take
Hey,
scrap!
Jacob. Clear
Yes.
comms. We can all hear you right now, please.
Apologies, I will mute myself. Sorry.
Thank
Liru,
you.
I'll mute
I don't know why it didn't move us in the TFAR channel, but whatever. Like, good fucking god. Managing some of these chuckleheads here. Alright, let's get that removed. Teleport myself back, give myself a heal.
Okay, never mind. It's been shit.
Alright. Let's get this started. So I'm going to be using African militia and extremists, depending on how things
Would be
go.
wise. I'm gonna check just some other like. I'm gonna check like 100 and 150.
So this is the
for other
VIP.
people.
Good check.
Liquid is the paramedic. You got the
Alright, we gotta get out of here.
Ready to check?
quick.
75.
Liquid, Tilts, and myself will go blue. Everybody else go red.
Why are there two?
Ready to check. Alright.
Bad check.
30272.
Also, Devil is not.
This game fucking confuses me. I don't know. I've never seen a double spawn like that, but okay.
Yeah. Ignore the other one.
That's a new one.
Alright.
That is honestly a new one. it's like, what the fuck? And they're running the wrong way. What? Oh, this will be interesting. All right, right off the bat, they all right, let's see. Maybe they're doing this on purpose. I'm going to set the accuracy down to 10 cuz I want to simulate just a bunch of Durka insurgents here. These guys are outgunned and outmanned here, but yeah, all right. Oh, this should be good. Oh. All right. So how's everyone's day? Wee woo here. I just had to deal with a lot of interesting stuff there, but that's a-okay. Liquid speaking over global. I don't have any way to address that at the moment. That's fine. Hopefully someone will tell them how to fix that. I guess I should make a little document as like a checklist to go over what to do if XYZ happens. Alright. That's all set. Let's go ahead, go to side here. Side relations. Make sure these guys are set to hostile with each other. Devil has a clone too. Yeah, I've never seen that before. It happened to 2 people. It's a new one. That's honestly a new one. We had 2 clones. Did it happen up here too?
How many medics do we have total? Just one? One. Who's supposed to be the other medic?
He hasn't showed up.
Wait, shit.
Am I solo medicing everyone here?
Yes. Okay.
Alright, otherwise they're forming up. The other medic didn't show up. I'll make a mental note about that player, just to make sure they're not able to slot again for a little while. And we'll go from there. This isn't Clone Wars, no. So let me give the premise. Basically, there's a VIP team out in the field trying to... I'm only going to use fire teams, actually. Trying to basically extract at the moment. After their convoy was ambushed. So they're trying to get up to that position, and then the guys over there are trying to get to the VIP and pull them back. Now, they don't know each other's radio net, so it's going to make that a little bit difficult. But I'm just going to constantly harass the VIP with small teams to give some weapon audio ID for the remaining forces to find them, but they're going way off course. So maybe they're trying to head back to their last reported position to then take a route that I saw one of them pre-drawing. So we'll see how things go. What is this, Clone Wars? Oh, that was a joke about the double spawn. I get you. It was kind of interesting to say the least, though. I don't know. This game is filled with a lot of weird features that, you know, are technically bugs, but they're just features, my friend. It's to help the team double up and be better. Otherwise, these guys are moving out. We have another person jumping in. He apparently downloaded the wrong mod set, which I don't know how you could have done because I attached the mod set to every mission. So, just some people are being silly. It's fine. It happens. I don't get it, but, you know, it's just how people work sometimes. So I'll just be actively spawning, unspawning, and respawning patrols here. Because they're way off. And then, you know, I got these smoke billows out here, which, honestly, I think you can see from base. Yeah, you can see it if you look. So I think that's where these guys are going to be heading at this point. But I just find these routes really weird, but that's fine. So at 4:30-esque, we'll be putting the chopper in a few minutes afterwards, believe it or not. So I'm going to try to not use any UGL, because UGLs are pretty powerful. Just to keep the fire teams for now, sentries for now, but when we get to the more powerful stuff, once they get at the base, then I'll throw entire sections at them. Yeah, these guys are going to end up hitting the fucking map border at this rate, but we'll see what they think of.
Alright, multiplayer, now what? It should be just...
Jacob, it's in the channel you're in, you bellend. Oh, you... I love you, buddy, but come on, use your head. Use your head. Hey, Willow, how are you doing, my man? You're getting a new place? Nice. Oh, you're looking for a place. Gotcha. Well, I hope that goes well, my friend.
I do apologize about that.
Or they might get spotted by some of these guys here. So some of these guys kept their P90s, some of them dropped them in favor of some more powerful ordnance. That's fair. But Jacob, when you join in, I'm just going to teleport you right to the group. Oh dear. And that attracts the horde. They do have smoke grenades. They need to consider moving cover to cover as well. I'm not sure they're in audio range of this group. They also need to stay off of the high ground here because otherwise, you know, bad things will happen. So they're just going to keep moving there. I'm going to put another fire team down. MK just means rifles. Mostly bolt action. Throwing things up from there. It means there's going to be a little bit less defense time, more time just being like out in the field wondering what the hell's going on. So I'm fine with that. But they need to keep moving because otherwise bad things will happen. Well, the P90 is a really nice weapon, but they have very limited ammo for it. They only have like 6 mags a person, and there's no one else in the AO that has that ammo besides the bodyguards. So they need to keep the VIP kind of in the center to rear of the formation, actually. Same with the medic, and let the bodyguards lead, because if the VIP gets hit, then, you know, bad things are probably going to happen.
Doesn't matter who.
Also, Jacob, I trust that you're not going to metagame by joining late and being on this stream and tell them where they are, because if you do, I will be very disappointed in you.
I'll grab
It's got the smoke columns southwest.
So I got eyes on the smoke.
I see movement west.
At this point, they could probably follow the enemy over to where the shooting is. I'm just making sure, Jacob, because some people don't think like that. I have to remind them. You know, I've been doing this since 2016. I've seen it all at this point. It's not my wrath. It's just you ruin it for everyone else at that point, and then I make sure you don't play whatever I do again, simply because it's just, again, it's a game thing, you know? We're just here to have fun with a custom scenario, and I'm trying to design stuff that most other people don't do at a small scale. That's what the point of this Wednesday and Sunday project is to do small-scale ops that I can't do in TSB because I have too big of a player count to do them. So, by doing it like this...
Probably moved from the hit point by now.
Gives me some better options here.
Yeah, Pat.
So I can do, you know, small-scale VIP extraction, horror ops, which I already put up for Sunday. It's going to be a horror op. It's not going to be the Among Us op one. I'm going to be doing that next Sunday, though, just because I want to test out the community that signs up so I can see how many people would be interested in the horror op itself. Because I could either do that with a single squad of like 6 or 8, or I could do it with like 2 squads. So before I make that balance, I just want to know how much I need to set up here. Alright, so I'm just going to watch those symbols over there.
Sounds good to me.
Alright, boys, pack it up
That
to
sounds
that
good.
next hill right in front of us.
Yep, you can hear the gunshots from here. Team's also going to adjust. Alright, I'm also going to put a section in here. Yeah, so they're just going to be looting up what they can at this point.
Yeah.
But I told them if they don't move quickly, I will eventually swarm them. So, you know, they've got 4 different, actually like 5 different teams behind them pushing in. And I just keep adding every time there's a point of contact. But these guys are not following the gunshots, so this is pretty interesting. For smiting metagame, I mean, I'm not going to do anything about it when the op happens. I'm just going to take care of it in Debrief. But, you know, we're just here to have fun. That's the whole point of this, you know?
North. More
Alright.
contacts across the road.
I'm just here to basically make experiences for people that want to play Arma, you know? It's my job. That's what I get my living on. Great headshot on that guy right there. I'm also not going to delete bodies just yet. I want to, see if I can make, like, a trail. Alright, I need to see him move around, because he could just be spawning in right now, but let me get the teleporter ready. Because if you teleport him while he's still connecting onto the server, then it's not going to work. I'm just waiting to see that movement.
Let's give him a warm welcome, shall we?
Here. You alive?
I'm alive.
Okay, stand by. No, you don't get any of that. You get 5 seconds. 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
If we keep pussyfooting around, we might
Have fun. Alright, how are these guys doing?
I can just bandage.
Yeah, so VIP got hit there. I'm half tempted to start moving that force in, but these guys need to consider moving soon, because things are gonna start happening. Ah, yes, Arma 3 driving AI. It is quite beautiful.
You need AK mags?
Now they gotta start moving because the swarm's starting to come up behind them. So I'm seeing some smoke grenades, which is good. Need to see a little bit more of that, though, and they need to basically move away from that heavy contact. All right, they're picking a direction. They're moving. Smart call. As you can tell, I'm literally just mixing everything. Sticking with MK or rifle mostly. Popping more smoke. Try to micro the Vic in here. A little bit of cover in this building they can utilize, but that is gonna be a tough place to make their last stand, that's for sure. They need this backup to come. I'm not sure if they're hearing those gunshots because they're sending, yeah, they're only sending a few guys in the AO. They're not listening for the gunshots themselves, which are further to the south. So I'm a little worried about the VIP team right now. Not gonna send the sections in just yet, but ooh, they've literally gone the opposite way of where they've needed to go. Oh, it's messy. Hoping the retrieval teams know to follow the gunshots at this point. Yep, they're gonna smoke and try to move on. Again, it's a good call to make because they don't want to get encircled here, because once that happens, I think they're pretty much screwed. Devil, he's getting a little tunnel vision here. He needs to keep moving. As I say that, he continues. But yeah, you see some of them are bleeding right now. They're taking hits because they're getting encircled here. But they're making the right call to move out. And we're gonna be able to pretty much track them with a horde, so. I'm really surprised these guys are not following those gunshots. I think they just found this position. Now they hear those gunshots, so they're gonna follow down. I'm gonna start moving in some sections here. So I'm basically putting everything to here because then I can select it and move it. So now they're holding and engaging at this point to knock out whatever's immediately behind them. They're using more smoke, that's good.
Look,
Yeah, let's hold in on recon and then we'll have them point away.
Just follow the gunshots, guys. Because the focus isn't on them, because I haven't run into them. Otherwise, I would send local forces over to try to find them there. Literally on the VIP. They're occasionally taking hits, but again, it's the mobility that's really helping them out at this point.
it has to be red hand. There's no way they're that dumb.
Then what the fuck else are they shooting at?
All right.
Yes, what are they shooting
recon
at?
Stop. Everybody
What do you
focus the road
think?
from South to recon. Let's get eyes on the explosion.
What do you think it is? Please put 2 and 2 together. There's nothing else around. You're overthinking it. Oh, VIP's down. If they have any more smoke, now would be the time. They might need to just pick them up and go, because, yeah, they're getting swarmed here. Oh boy. So in the event the VIP dies, we don't immediately end the mission. We are going to just continue it as is, but now forces are getting awfully close. I think they're screwed. Because the escort is just... Oh. They're doing their best. He's picking them up at this point. They need to keep moving. VIP's up. They need to go. They need to go now. Oh, that was close. No one's died yet, but that was very close.
Follow it out.
Ooh, RPG just fired. That was them on the defense. Actually blew a guy up with that.
Clear the net, clear the net. Risen, what direction?
They're going to end up running into the tail of the units here, which is going to pull off some of the stuff. I could put that techie up, but I think that's going to be a bit too much.
Maybe.
Yeah, so they're doing a little bit of bandaging. Oh, this is hellish.
I'm seeing tracers coming over the hill to the east.
Oh, man. That's a section. Again, I'm trying to stick with fire teams for the moment. Or we can do sentries.
Approach, get eyes, and if we see they're not there, we're going to pull back and go around, because we're not about to kill the whole town they pissed off. Pick it up, Risen. I got you, buddy.
Now Hazmat's lost. This is brilliant. Just the way the dice have fallen in this scenario. Oh, this is good. Got the A team here on Mamba trying their best to defend the VIP. At this point, it's a straight shot, though, but I'm going to probably call in this garrison now. At this point, the whole town is going to be coming up here. But I love the mobility. It's really hard to find a group that'll keep that mobility going. Now, these guys are going to be literally following the tail of that group. Oh. I'm going to call in that Vic. I'm going to maneuver the garrisons of this to start following the trail, because by then they'll be in the proper position. But as long as I keep getting eyes on, the mob's going to just continue to follow. This isn't a bad place to hold out, and the garrison should be able to back them up eventually, but good God. But now, based off of the angles of the force, I can now maneuver things accordingly. I'll give it a few minutes, but if they stay by that road, I will get the techie to come up. But yeah, as you can see, there's a lot. It's a lot coming. But at this point, I can also delete the bodies back here. Because again, even though we're at a, smaller scale operation, I always like to keep the frames in check. Because the better the frames, the better the player base usually performs.
Open up. You can return fire. Stay on your belly.
I don't know what was up with his mic, but have the rear team start pulling back here. Yeah, so hell, I'm gonna have the mobs actually start coming back. So now I'm managing two different groups of infantry here. Some that's closer, that's engaging. I'm gonna have these guys follow again, because they're following via gunfire, so the groups are gonna follow the closest amount of gunfire here. Start moving that Vic up. That is an M2 as well. That will tear through that building.
We got a techie coming in.
SMG missed.
You get it?
50 cal is tearing through this building. Oh boy. Now they're garrisoning to hold and engage.
Team leader's down, team leader's down.
Holy
VIP
crap.
watching southern door. Looks like other PMC. Looks like
Yeah, other PMC group found the tail of everything. This is ugly. Oh. Oh, this is not good. And this is just the odds of the scenario in itself. Yeah, just call it out, enemy officer.
Get down. Get your head down.
Oh shit.
Oh, Tilster! VIP is down. They still have their medic up though, so they can get him back, but... Oh, no! It's just the medic! Now the Vic's moving up! So they're pulling north now out of that position. They're at this point, because they're closer to this active gunfire, going to be moving with that. Medic's doing his best to hold, but oh. Oh, man.
I'm very deaf right now.
Contact
dying down. Get up.
Devil Demon was able to get back up. Grenade went out there because I think the medic stabilized him. Now he needs to work on stabilizing Tilster as he is literally surrounded. But now with no gunfire, these guys aren't going to be able to home in on him. Oh, this is brutal. This is pretty much what I wanted, though. If they were to do, like, you know, a weird beating around the bush sort of thing, this is what I expected. Now the gunfire is going to die down over there. With these groups, I'll be able to send some additional rebels up here. Oh, man. It's meant to be a tough op. And this one certainly takes the cake. Alright, so I think he's stabilizing everyone slowly but surely. He might be able to epi people to wake him up, but... Oh, man. Now, let me explain something. Had the other team gone the route, like, you know, gone this direction, instead they went south and then looped around on the rear, that's what kind of cost them this one. And then the VIP team, or excuse me, the extraction team, they went, on the hill. They were trying to find them as they were coming in, but it's because the VIP team took a really weird route, and that's what's going to end up costing them at this point, unfortunately. But that's why Arma's nice. But yeah, now these guys are getting picked off by this Vic over here. Oh, man. This is probably going to wrap up early, in all honesty. But when we get to debrief, I'm going to just do restart on the mission.
Grid rev 04102.
I don't think they're going to be able to... I think we're going to have everyone get wiped at this point. Because they did this completely the wrong way, and it shows. It honestly shows, unfortunately. Alright, I'm going to start opening doors. VIP is dead. Yep, we're gonna move to wrap up mode at this point. Devil's doing his best to hold out, but this is gonna be wrapped up. But I'm gonna do an in-depth analysis of why they failed this mission, because they did what they weren't supposed to on a tactical level, even with no amount of coordination.
Yeah, I just got the RPG off my back, and I got hit by probably the tech.
All right, guys, if you can hear me, 1 second. I'm gonna do. I'm gonna ask you to stay on the server because I want to show you guys why this failed.
That didn't go too well, did it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got I know why. I know why it failed.
I'm kicking myself in the ass for not putting my foot down and saying no, don't engage those targets. Because as soon as we started opening up, I knew it was going to open up a can of worms. I should have been like, no, we're not going to kill those things. But people said we were taking
real
shots.
quick. Take your slots back. Come to map screen. Let's do a debrief on map.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
Because I want to show you guys why this failed and how this was supposed to be balanced, because you guys somehow completely fucked yourselves.
Can I put
Hold up.
Can I put one thing out, Liru?
No.
Great.
Oh.
All right. So Mamba.
I'm never to reopen.
And if you aren't on the server, you can come and watch the stream. I'll give the same explanation. So Mamba was here. That is where the ambush happened. I'm gonna be honest, that should have been really easy to identify because I told you where you were, like in between the two positions you could have been in, and this was the only place on the map where that was. Now, your issue was you wouldn't have been able to tell your scout team here where that position was. So, there were two choices. You could either do this or this. This northern option would have been better because of that hill right there, and the recovery teams did the right call of heading up to that hill to look around to see where things were. Unfortunately, Mamba, in their infinite fucking wisdom, did this.
But I didn't see what you wrote.
I think.
Oh. Are you fucking serious?
You're joking.
Yep.
You're serious.
I don't know how you managed to come up with that plan, but you died there. And then so the tracking teams did this. and then died there. Because all of the units, because contact started in this position, and basically from the 4 villages, they were sending sentries or 4-man teams. But they would overall stack, because I told you guys at the start, you need to start moving, otherwise you would quickly get swarmed. And I'll give this to you, Mamba. You did a great job from moving here to this position. A lot of smoking. There were some really tense moments. You did a great job, but eventually you got there. You would have gotten swarmed even harder, but then your recovery team started opening up. Unfortunately, all of the force that was following you was roughly there, moving in. Pat, you're hot micing me.
Sorry.
And they ran into the brunt of your stuff. But by then, your gunfire died down, so everything started engaging your recovery teams coming in, because I was literally just following the gunshots, and which gunshots were larger, where there were more of, because that would attract the attention of everything. So this is a good example of why you need to think logically here, because this is how you got scuffed, because your recovery team ran into the brunt of the force that was following you. You could have literally just kept going and made it to the outpost, at which point I would have said on side chat, if I couldn't get them a hold of them on radio, hey, we have them at the outpost, and they could have disengaged and head around, avoiding the town, or fight through it and just quickly get there. But you stopped there because I think you were like critically wounded at a few points, and you just got swarmed, and there was a techie that then drove up because you were on a road and also pinned you in that building, and you missed the RPG shot. So in the future, guys, I'm not trying to make these hard. You're going to be the ones making it hard for yourselves if you decide to pull an infinite fucking wisdom plan like this. I mean, it was literally like the 2 routes I thought you were going to take, and you just made it harder for yourselves. I'm going to be honest.
Can I point something out that we were?
We're gonna. Here's what I'm gonna do. Since we have plenty of time, and I don't have the time to rerun this mission, unfortunately, because I've got people coming over Friday, and I'm doing a shit ton of chores. We're gonna go down the list here. So from the top, Patches, do you have anything to say?
Yes, I'm mad at myself. So it's this kind of problem where I play with a lot more experienced players that are outside of POG, so I tend to give them more leniency. And there was a lot of leash pulling. This isn't a knock or a negative. It's just natural because these guys have more experience than I do, and they've played with me before, and they know that sometimes, like, my decision-making isn't most trustworthy in the world, but I'm kicking my pants because I should have just told them, I should have grabbed their leash and be like, guys, don't engage, because I was doing that for the whole time. And then finally, I had a moment of panic to where we're being engaged. I'm like, fuck it, return fire, because I don't know what direction we were looking at, but we thought the VIPs were ahead of us, and so all of the enemy have their backs to us, and they're shooting something. I don't know what they're shooting. We're like, okay,
he still has the damn.
Let's draw their fire and then
Smoke
withdraw
alarm
north.
beep.
Where you pointed us out, where we died on the map, I didn't think we were there. I thought we were way up, like to the north, because we were trying to get out of there.
Do you want to mark it? Because I mean,
can I? Or do I have
you
that
can.
option?
Yeah,
So
everyone has the option to draw.
So here's what I thought we did. Which my team did pretty good. I'm not about to shit out on them. They did awesome. I'm just kicking myself. I think it's a fault of me. I'm not going to go around blaming my players, because
it's all good.
I wasn't GC, but everybody was basically listening.
You were the squad leader acting.
Yeah, basically, yeah. So my idea was we would just follow the hills, which this wasn't my idea. I forget which one of you mentioned it. I'm sorry, but someone had a really good idea of, we can't draw on the map, or we shouldn't draw on the map because we're split between teams, and you don't want drawing on the map, especially in global or side, because everybody can see it. So they're like, okay, someone points out, hey, let's follow 50, 72, and 52. We do that, and I'm constantly telling them, do not engage. As soon as we take contact, it's going to be a shitstorm. Sure enough, it was. So we go all the way around. We get down here. We're like, okay, they're gone. And then I had Risen, who I think is really good at this game. I think a lot of the guys that I've played with are really good. I've played with them before, like Hazmat and them. So I'm like, I'll trust your judgment. And they're like, let's follow the shots, because it's something you mentioned. So what I thought we did this, and then we did this. I didn't realize we went like that.
Real quick, guys, if Patch is the one drawing, can you not draw until it's your turn? Because we'll go over, because I see what Tilster was trying to go for, but I'm going to shoot that plan down as soon as it's his turn. But I see what you're going for. So you basically went a little too far south, and then tried to hook up, and you literally went to the closest town to your position. I get it.
Yeah. And I'm kicking myself for that, because I should have just told my boys, no, hold fire. Let's go find the VIPs, because just to finish it out, it's really pissing me off that we were this close. And if we just held fire and kept going, we would have gotten to them, hopefully. So that's
it's fine. Well, you had a lot of bad guys in your way, too. So it would have been a tough fight to get through, but I get it.
I had a good time, guys. I'm going to go on to the next person. Thank you for letting me play with you all today.
Yep. Roar.
An E-tool would be nice.
Why?
That's-
You're quickly trying to be mobile. If you had an E-tool, then
Well,
that
we
would
got pinned
impede
down.
on your mobility.
We got pinned down. Would have been useful to maybe survive a little bit longer.
It would not have, because you would have just been pinned in that position and swarmed and died.
It might be true.
Trust me. I've seen this
Giving
happen
the
a million
medics some
times.
cover could also be fun.
Yeah.
If you really need to move, like, the whole point of this is mobility, guys. It's not to hold and engage. It is to be mobile and use your smoke grenades, which, again, Mamba team did a really good job about that. But if you were basically assaulting a position, then yeah, an E-tool, because you slowly stem the advance. But this is, you are literally in the middle of bad guy territory. The enemies can come in any fucking direction. An E-tool would just serve to slow you down.
I see your point.
Damon. He's AFK. Atanis.
I had a lot of fun. My second off here, so I'm really glad that it was this one. Did notice that there was a little bit of communication errors on the two recovery team ends. Sometimes we talk over each other. There's a lot of garbled mess. So I think we could work on that a little bit more next time. But other than that, it's pretty fun, pretty good for the short time it was there. Yeah, thank you.
No problem. Tilster, before I get to you, I want to explain something right here. What Tilster's drawn here is a good plan. Here's where it's flawed. You have people coming to get you to bring you back. How the fuck are they supposed to know you're doing that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, we were also thinking that the enemies wouldn't know that either.
They wouldn't, but as soon as, like, so as I said in the beginning, like, they are going to start sending stuff to the convoy's position and basically patrolling around to try to find you. So your original point of contact was a 4-man team just traveling up this road. Actually, it dipped in a little more, and then there was also a team heading up the riverbed. So, again, because they clearly wanted the VIP and they had intel about the VIP and had a reason to grab them. So I get it. Like, if there wasn't the recovery teams going for you, this would be a great plan because it completely bypasses everything, like all the danger points in the AO. But it kind of forced you in a bad position because instead you then did that, more or less. That's a rough thing about that because you were panicking at that point, or you got lost. I don't know, but yeah, again, it's a good plan, but it really just discredits the point of the operation, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But otherwise, anything else for you to say?
Not really. We kind of just got pinned down over here, and we probably should have picked a different, or just spread out among different buildings over here, because we all got pinned down in the same building. Nobody could move, and yeah, it was bad at that point.
There's pros and cons because you all went to this one specific building. The pro is, yeah, if you're in different buildings, you can support each other. The con is if someone goes down in that one building, your medic's in another building, and the enemies are like right on top of you watching the road, that medic can't get to that person. What really screwed you guys was no one was really watching the windows. And they were shooting at you and picking your heads off through the windows because you'd be crouched. And even though I had the AI down to like 10% accuracy, but at like point blank range, they will still blow your head off. Even if I had them at 1%, they would still do that. So it was just a tough luck point at that point. So I get it. But whew, it was definitely a toughie today, I will admit that. Anything else?
Might have been better if we picked a building across the road, because then if it started to look hairy, we could have just ran.
You would have avoided that danger zone and been able to immediately run to the AO. I agree with you on that. That is definitely a mistake, but hey, now you know now. Anything else?
Nope, that's all I got.
All right, Devil Demon.
Not much to add, or just the fact that that techie rolling in just pinned us down completely and made us hunker down that building, and after that we had nothing to destroy it after the one RPG shot, so we're kind of stuck after that.
So the techie was spawned around here. I had it pre-placed on the map because every town had one. I gave you a few minutes, and then after I think 3 minutes, I noticed you were still there, so then I rolled it up, because at that point, it's going to roll up the MSR, trying to follow the gunshots. I was trying to be really nice with those Vics, because let's be honest, like a spray of that, you're in the open, you're probably going to die. But, you know, after a few minutes, because this is meant to be a high mobility thing, eventually the enemy are going to use what they can to pin you down. So I was trying to be as fair as I could with that.
issue was we is on critical medical that needed a bit of blood and stuff, and that just slowed us down. And once the first guy went down, we were just snookered after that. So.
But I do agree with Tilsiter said, if you picked a building across the street, I think you would have been able to escape after that. Even with the techie there, you could have popped a smoke grenade or two, or even just gone at an angle where the techie wouldn't have seen you, and that could have been it, you know?
Yeah, by that time it would have been the call, leave behind who we have to get out to VIP.
Doom.
He's muted.
Yep. All right, Hazmat.
No, I think you went. I mean, the op went all right. Had a lot of fun, obviously. A lot of chaos and panics. But other than that, yeah, I was the. Fuck, I was trying to say something.
You're good, man. Do you want us to move past you and we'll come back?
Yeah.
All right, Katarina.
Here, let me cut I think the only thing I have mentioned is that while that plan would have worked perfectly if we were on our own, we absolutely discredited or didn't take into the fact in our planning that there was going to be another team,
2 other teams trying to find you.
Yeah, exactly. And I think all of us were just kind of like, we don't really want to just head in there, but for the sake of speed, we probably should have. Anyways, we went around a river. I was like, this is fine. This will work. We'll go around the last reported conflict position. We started taking contact. So I was like, all right, now we just book it. So we went ruin to ruin, trying to get cover to medic and fighting retreat and keeping moving. But then that techie, I missed my shot and it just fucked us. Because we had to get Devil in a place where he'd be able to move. And from there, we all died.
Hazmat, back to you. Do you remember, or do you want me to keep going?
No, I'll just talk about it. As I was saying, had a lot of fun, a lot of chaotic moments. Yeah, this is just the quickest up I've ever been. Not much else to say.
I will say this is definitely one of the quicker ones I've done. This isn't the quickest, though. I think my personal record for an op indexing was 6 minutes because they bad fragged the VIP and killed him and bloodlusted him. And
Nice.
I'm like, oh, okay. The entire recovery team was down, and it was just a mess at that point. But yeah, the guys coming in to pick them up, because this was like a Benghazi style thing. They accidentally, the lead Vic crashed into a techie, and then the second lead Vic crashed into the front lead Vic, and they all got bloodlusted. And I'm just kind of sitting here like, oh, awesome. But we ran the op and they did fine, but it was pretty damn funny. But these happen. So, but the whole point, with doing these type of ops is, and especially having a debrief like this, is we now know, for the future when I do another op like this is a better strategy, and we'll see if that rolls through. But anyway, back to the list, Jacob.
So I have 2 things.
Okay.
Well, actually 3. So number 1, with the bodyguards, I noticed that they didn't take they took the AKs in favor of the P90, which is fine, but it threw off the recovery team because we were listening out for P90 shots. So we couldn't figure out where they were.
So I will admit, that's a smart thing to point out. The P90 though is very quiet compared to the AK.
Short.
It's very quiet, like
You
as a
can make
metagame thing.
Small notices of it.
Or not even a metagame thing. That's not even metagame. That's just audio PID, which is smart.
Yeah.
I appreciate the angle you're going there, but I would just follow the gunfire in general, because that's what the enemy were doing. They didn't have fucking radios. They were literally just listening for the shots. And I remember, I think it was down here, I was listening while the other team was up on the hill. I could hear the gunshots from that position, or at least in that general direction, which, just further verified I could have units here and send them to that gunfire. And then as the gunfire continued, they'd be able to accurately, continue on that position. Now, for the sake of Zeusing, I just put it right in the middle of where the firefight was and was able to follow. But when the firefighting stopped and there were no bullets beyond that, I just kept them in that position until, moving in that direction until they heard another branch of gunfire. So, otherwise, what's your second thing?
So, with Raisin, if you look on the map, when our first engagement happened around here-ish, I think, he thought he had PID'd the VIP team. He guessed wrongly. We found the enemy's main force around here, moving this way towards
Make sure you're
them.
marking things inside chat, because I don't see it. There you go.
Side chat? Oh, wait, no, that's chat.
No, you're in the right chat now. Yeah, no, so you saw the main enemy force following, but another thing is...
Raisin did.
Right, but if you're seeing enemies head in a direction after there's gunfire, it's safe to assume that's probably where your targets are. So that's smart. Again, smart. It's just... at that point, they started engaging you and then pulled away to engage you instead, and then it made it even more chaotic.
The problem was we wrongly PID'd that this was the VIPs.
Yeah.
That were going this way, and then I made a number count of there's too many of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I have a question
for
you at the end about that, Liru. I'll wait though.
Okay.
Anyways,
all right, third thing.
Oh fuck. Damn it. Move on. I probably won't remember.
I see that Doom is back. Doom, do you have anything to say about this?
Other than I'd say initial planning for bodyguard team, I didn't really know where I was, and there were also 2 plans on the map. So sort of once we'd got geared and were moving, I saw a plan that was taking us up north and around, and also one that was taking us in the VIP's original plan, which was all the way down. And yeah, we made it about halfway down the riverbed, got contact, and immediately just went, let's just try and rush to the fob.
I'm sure you went like somewhat like this.
Yeah, we took contacts
you just
somewhere around there,
it.
and we immediately turned off from the plan and beelined it.
The beeline was smart. It's just you eventually got pinned in a position. We've already gone over it, but I think that was the right call too, because especially if you're taking contact around a place where I openly admitted I'm spawning stuff from, this area over here can be deadly. So I think that was a great call to make. It's just, again, that one little mistake of picking one building instead of another, I think is what cost you there. But that's how these scenarios go sometimes. So anything else?
Also, yeah, I was still using the P90. It was just really, really quiet.
I'm pretty sure it was drowned out by the continuous
the
fire of
AK fire and shit.
Yeah.
Well, it's also, a submachine gun firing compared to an AK. Usually the AKs are louder anyway, but...
I mean, yeah.
I will say that...
Yeah,
hold up. We're going one at a time here, guys. Anything else, Doom?
No, that's all.
All right. Liquid Popsicle.
Hi, yeah. I had a lot of fun. I was deaf half the op because my earplugs didn't work, so that was fun.
Were earplugs not working for other people?
No, I put them in. They just didn't register on my end. So
were you a machine gunner?
No, I picked up an AK and it just went straight through my earplugs and just destroyed my ears. So I couldn't really hear a whole lot during the op.
Cartoon Turtle, do exclamation point Discord and grab an armor tag.
On my end.
Next stop is Sunday. All right. Well, I'm sorry.
I had a lot of fun.
I don't.
That wasn't your fault. It was probably mine. I might have took him out, put him back in, or whatever.
It's all good.
Yeah, I was deaf.
Renta?
Oh, I don't really got anything. That was pretty fun out.
All right. Risen?
If we are getting told that our objective is to get a VIP out, and the VIP gets told to instantly start moving, that means the rescue team also should not sit at base and go like, yeah, we have 5 minutes. No, we don't. They are already running the second we spawn in. So we should have just grabbed our shit. We had time beforehand to take a look at the map, already make a plan in our minds, just quickly coordinate it. We could have been out there in 2 minutes and probably caught up to the VIP team before they, or just as they got into the buildings where they died in the end. The first contact that was Miss PID was around here.
Yeah.
I saw something that looked like a guy wearing a white t-shirt. And I was like, all right, we already saw a ton of people run around. All of them were your usual towel hats. So I said, all right, looks like we got the team. We weren't engaged. We were the ones who, opened fire. We could have just have them continue walking past, run behind them, and wait until they bring us to the VIP team, and then attack them from behind and try to punch through. That didn't work out, and yeah, the rest is history.
So, Liru, I remember what I was going to say. You're okay with me saying it?
Go ahead.
So, I remember, and before I continue on to that, we couldn't have known where those guys were running off to. We didn't even know if they were running over to the VIP team. And what I was going to say was, if the VIP team with the bodyguards had to hunker down in here, if the VIP was in shot, of course, he could have just kept running while the VIPs covered him and just stayed, like, here-ish.
Possibly, but that is incredibly risky because you don't know what is over there.
Well, no, with, of course, like, a single bodyguard escort.
Jacob, I'm gonna stop it right there because that's coulda, woulda, shoulda. I've always recommended people stay together in these types of things. It was just a bad decision on the building. We've already covered it, but were you a part of that team?
No, I was just wanting to say that was a suggestion.
Yeah. Well, next time if you're in those shoes, you can make that suggestion on the fly.
Yeah.
But otherwise, back to Risen's point, you can also always just, pop your smoke grenades and disengage. If you see they're heading a certain direction, you can always then try to loop around because as soon as that gunfire started, everything around just started coming towards you. And nothing stopping you guys also from just cycling your smoke grenades. Smoke, like, 2 people in front throw a smoke. You keep running. A few more seconds later, 2 more people throw a smoke. Because together you had like 11 or 12 guys with you, and each of them at least had 2 smokes. Some of you had 4. You could have just pushed to that position. It's something that a lot of player bases don't think about, but tactically it is possible. So that's just another point on that, but I'm digging this debrief. So we're Canadian.
First of all, I'm going to open up by saying, what did I fucking say about the river? What did I say? But yeah,
well, it happened.
Overall, it was an awesome op.
Let's give him a warm welcome, shall we?
Yeah, it would have been better for if Mamba hadn't gone that way, to say the least. I'm not going to reiterate what's been said.
It was a rice throat.
Nice. Continue.
And yeah, also, Liru, were you remote controlling?
I did not remote control once until the end when I had to kill off the last guy in the building, part of Mamba team, because everyone else was dead at that point. That was all the AI.
I swear to God, they had a serious knack for shooting me, the only medic.
You do have a red towel.
I passed out 3 different times.
Yeah, I'm gonna add one thing.
Bad luck.
What I've noticed was I've seen the VIP got shot in the head like 3 times. Like, oh my god.
Well, he was also on point for half of the time you were moving, which I kept.
Yeah, I've seen that. I don't know why I kept.
I got shot in the head once.
No, you got shot in the head twice.
All right. Well, anyway, Whimsical.
Not much. It was a fun op. It was just that most of the time, for some reason, I've been using connection from the TeamSpeak, and I think when we first got contact, I was going to tell Patches, can we move around? Because I saw them moving. But at that time, that's when I lost connection. And that's when we started engaging contact. I was like,
I did notice there were a few weird someone's microphone just wasn't happening. It sounded like they were desyncing out. When someone sounds like really buzzy and you can't understand what they're saying. I did notice you were losing connection at one point. So that's just bad luck at that point, to be perfectly honest. So.
Yeah, it was timing. It happened like 3 times. Luckily, we weren't engaged, but that last moment where I was going to say something, say yes, move. I lost connection, and I was like, fuck.
All right. Otherwise, that is that, guys. The sign up for the sun. Oh, right, Patch, you said you wanted.
Yeah, no,
I'll leave you with the last comment then.
I was gonna say I have one final question. So, you're saying like we did. I'm not gonna redraw the whole thing. It's gonna be rough, but we did this, right? Like we died around here.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm trying to think like where, because the final VIP point was here. Because the reason why we engaged at all is because we thought we were on their back. So I'm trying to figure out if we were looking this way when we saw the white.
You were looking this way. Actually, you were following them. It just,
So-
again, the issue became because they picked a really weird route, and then they decided to cut through instead everything that was following them, because, again, the whole point of the bad guys was to capture the VIP, and, he ended up dying, of course.
Yeah.
But everything that was following them was in between you and them because of just the position of everything, because of how this op went.
Yeah,
So
our
that was the
logic
mess.
Our logic for opening up. So I think I made 2 mistakes, but I do want to address one thing we actually did right in reference to a little bit to the smoke grenade. So Liru, that's a brilliant idea. I'm actually going to probably use that in POG a little bit because we've been struggling.
Smart.
But we did half of the smoke grenade thing, but I think we did it a little more sloppy because the idea was let's pop smoke and run north because we're getting engaged. So I think we just executed it poorly, but I will say we did try to withdraw with smoke. We were just kind of throwing them everywhere and panicking. Now, a big 2 mistakes I made, I would say, that were my fault. Number one, I didn't really have good control of you guys near the end because I didn't see any shots. I took y'all's word for it, and that was a mistake that I think got us all killed because I heard, oh, we're taking fire. I didn't actually see fire, so I think next time I should just keep to my guns like I had been for most of the time and do what was mentioned earlier, which was follow their backs, withdraw, get out. Because I think what kept us alive for most of the op until first contact, because I knew in the back of my mind, first contact's going to probably get us killed or wounded heavily because they're going to swarm us. Fire draws fire. And I think with that, to be fair, because I was under the impression and because the team was under the impression we were already being shot at, I think that's why, like, a small excuse as to why we opened up. But you and Risen are pretty much right. Like, we should have popped smoke and withdrawn. We tried. We fucked it up. I think if we executed the withdraw a little more cleaner, like how you put it, 2 and 2, we probably could have survived that because we did attempt it. We just got fucked because we were getting shot. We were panicking. We were throwing smoke grenades everywhere. We were running a direction we thought was something else. But yeah, I just want to say there was method to the madness, and there were valid reasons why we made some mistakes. But all in all, I had fun. I would love to play with you guys again.
I'll put it this way. You guys were kind of screwed from the get-go because of the routes you took, because you failed to encompass the fact that there were other teams in the area that I told you. And this is the result. So again, next stop we do will probably be better as long as people remember not to make the same mistakes. But if you make the same mistakes, it's probably going to play out the same way. But VIP might survive this time because of that split-second decision. However, I do think the recovery teams would have gotten screwed still, and then the VIP team would have gotten overwhelmed at the base over the next hour and a half. So it just would have been a slower burning failure, but it still, I think, would have failed because, again, I designed these missions for however many people originally show up, minus a few because, sometimes accidents happen. But otherwise, with that, guys, I'm going to conclude the debrief. Feel free to give op feedback for the Zeusing and Framework. Again, I didn't do any RC until the very end, just to finish it off. But otherwise, yeah, next sign-up opens on Friday at the designated time for that little mini horror op I'll be doing. So I'm going to go close out my stream. Thank you for playing, and hopefully I will see you next time.
Joyful, we're going to be attacked by bullies.
All right, that is that. I might do some DayZ streaming in a little bit. I have some chores to do, but we will at least be back for the 506th tonight. I will be on the ground. I think Tell's going to be Zeusing. If you ever want to join in on these little small-scale ops, they're technically open to the public as I try to, build a new player base here. We run ops Wednesdays and Sundays at 2:30 and about 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, respectively. All you got to do is do !Discord, grab an Arma tag, and just follow the rules. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Go operate operationally. Enjoy the rest of your day or night. Cheers, and have a good one.